Hello everyone, good afternoon, happy Wednesday to everyone, and it is a happy Wednesday because the FACEIT action is back. I am coming to you from the future. The delay is on, which means we are going to be live in the lobby for this double bill of action tonight. So we're going to see Gaimin Gladiators twice. Their first game is going to be against Supershy, one that they would be pretty much regarded as heavy favourites, and the next one will be against Space Station Gaming, where they will very much not be the favourites. So we'll take a look at both of these fixtures and see where they fall. I think what we're getting to now is the portion of the year, once again, where FACEIT League and OWCS are running at the same time, which means a very crowded fixture schedule for a lot of these teams. So we'll get a lot of the FACEIT action midweek, like today, and then we'll get all the OWCS action all over the weekend. So, kicking off with Peps versus Supershy. Peps, you're probably quite familiar with. I can show you the rosters as we wait for this one to start. And Peps, the only real change they've had from the Esports World Cup, of course, is they've kicked Crook and added Yoham, even though you see Crook in front of your eyes right now. Now it will be Yoham, and they're going to be running a pure 5-man roster. Stelios, likewise, has also moved on to greener pastures, and I think these are fine moves for Peps. In reality, I think Yoham has looked solid while we've watched him play previously in the lineup. I think over the last of the FACEIT playoffs leading into the Esports World Cup. So I think not a massive upgrade over Crook by any means, but I think a really reasonable support player to come in for them. Likewise, we're still going to look in this team, and I think really Zodio and Naga have to be the stars here. If there's going to be a difference maker in the lineup, it will be these two. I think they are the carries. I think everyone else on the roster is actually pretty solid, plays their role. But if they can find metas or comps or situations where they can put Naga or Zodio into kind of a star position, I think this is where Gaimin Gladiators are really able to elevate their team. And that's obviously the kind of compositions we've seen them excel at in the past when they played some of the Malga comps, again, a very macro-heavy comp. Or even when they played versions of the Diva Kiri Lucio comp as well, leading into the Esports World Cup. Again, quite a macro-heavy, even though it's like Kiri Lucio Diva, it's much more brawly for the most part. So, I think that's what they'll be hoping with this meta. I think one thing that's worth talking about, obviously, is what is the meta. I think as the Esports World Cup went on, while we started with a lot of Diva, I think we're leaning towards more and more of a Winston and a Brig. I think as the tournament went on, and in some of the OWCS Korean that we've seen since, teams have kind of realised that actually Winston and a Brig beats Diva and a Brig, and Diva and Winston and a Brig beat Diva Kiri Lucio. So we sort of end up in this world where we're back to Winston and a Brig being very meta, which I don't think is actually a particular strength for the Gaimin Gladiators. I think they'd much rather FD on Lucio than Brig. I think they'd much rather Tread. Probably actually, maybe Diva and Winston are pretty even for Tread. But I think in general, what you get once we go over to the Winston side of things is, I think there's a bit more skill expression in the Winston mirror than there is in the Diva mirror. I'm not to say there's no art in it and there's no skill, but I think then you start to look at some of the Winstons Tread will be going up against in terms of Chase, in terms of a Haddy, and we start to maybe see slightly bigger gaps, where I think that gap is harder to show on, harder to demonstrate on Diva. So we'll have to wait and see how Gaimin Gladiators approach this. They've obviously taken a break, as many of the teams did post the Esports World Cup, and we'll be coming into it, obviously, trying to figure out what other teams are doing and what the strongest version of the meta is for them. On the other side of things, we have Supershy, who is probably a name you've been familiar with, and they've got a lot of the same players. Hitori is the tank. She has a lot of flexibility, so it'll be interesting to see what direction they take her in. Obviously, Winston is very much on the cards for Hitori and probably one of her biggest strengths, so if that is viable, I could see them leaning into that. Likewise, we have Pac and Zoro both on the roster. Zoro a very solid hit scan. Same level as Zodiel? Probably not, but can give as good as he gets. Likewise, we have Pac, and also you can't see it on your screen, but Stelios is on this roster. Obviously, Stelios, the former Gaimin Gladiators player. I think we've seen Stelios excel on Tracer, and I think this made him a very exciting player at the time. The problem, I think, is when we watched a bit of Stelios during the Swiss stage, and we saw him on non-Tracer heroes, we saw him playing a lot of Echo, all of a sudden, it looked very rough around the edges. It looked like his timing, his ability to coordinate with his team, gone. All that nice playmaking and well-timed dives that we saw on Tracer didn't exist on the Echoes. And there's a bit of a question here over Stelios' hero pool and his flexibility. We've seen him excel on Tracer, but can he excel on everything else? The other change that's worth talking about from Supershy is Podanova coming into the roster. I think Podanova, when we talk about EMEA teams who are outside of the sort of top 5 bubble, you know, the SSGs, the Ents, the Virtus Pros, your TM and your Gaimin Gladiators, who I think are very much a top 5 in a tier of their own. I think when you look at a group of teams below them, I think Podanova has actually been one of the better performers, and I'm excited to see him get an opportunity on one of these potentially stronger teams as we go into OWCS. And while we're on that topic, we can talk a little bit about the upcoming OWCS. Group stage will be starting this weekend, which, while they're keen to win these FACEIT games, I think that will be the priority for all of these teams. Circuit points on the line, ability to get out of groups going to be super important. Supershy's group is competitive. They're in Group D. Very winnable for them, but also not straightforward by any means. So, as such, they'll be hoping for a good showing against Gaimin Gladiators here. Expectations as we go in, if you want a prediction, you want to get your votes in. I think the polls are open now if you do want to place a bet. Gaimin Gladiators are a favourite, right? They're the favourites. I think there's no getting around that. I think the quality they've shown, what they've really established for themselves as I think this tier break team where everyone below them doesn't get that close, and all the teams above them sometimes, for the most part, do get the better of them. We've seen a few upsets. Obviously, they had that famous win over SSG. They've pushed Ents close on 2 occasions. And I think for Gaimin Gladiators, the real test won't be how they do against this team. Obviously, unless they lose, then maybe that is a problem. But presuming they win as expected, the real test for Gaimin Gladiators will be, can they start getting consistently closer to some of those sort of big 3 teams in the form of Virtus Pro, Ents, and SSG? If they can do that, obviously, that's the big aim, and obviously to start taking series off those teams. We'll get a better idea of that later when they take on SSG. Obviously, if you remember from the Esports World Cup, Chris wasted no time in picking Gaimin Gladiators in the draft once we went to the knockout stages and swiftly disposed of them 4-0 in the Esports World Cup. So a chance for revenge later. Meanwhile, while we wait for that, Gaimin Gladiators will be hoping for a pretty straightforward, hassle-free experience here against Supershy. Whereas if you are Supershy, what you want is you maybe don't expect to win, but there's tiers of success in this, you know? Can you take a map? Can you make the maps close? How competitive can you make the series? And who knows? You start stringing a couple of maps together and suddenly you get an upset on your hands. And that will really be the aim. I think a lot of these players have been in that sort of top 8 players, but not really breaking into the elite category just yet. So one thing we should take a look at as well, of course, is the map pool, because we're going to get a slightly different map pool than we've had previously. If we take a look here, we can see Busander Pool, Lijiang Tower, Samoa, ones we've seen a lot before. Parisio, Kings Row, Icon World, Blizzard World. Blizzard World, probably the one we've seen least recently. And likewise, Runasapi also going to be added to the push, but while other tournaments are taking Esperanza out to put Runasapi in, Runasapi's just added. There's more pushes to play with. And then on the escort side of things, we have a pretty wide spectrum of maps. Dorado, Circuit Royale, Shambali. A lot to pick from. So, it's worth noting as well, we probably got a little bit used during the Esports World Cup and OWCS Stage 2 to seeing a bit more of the Korean map pick system, where the loser gets to pick both the mode and the map, and we can play them in any order. That's not the case in FACEIT League. We are on the ban system, so we're getting pretty close to it now, upcoming match, and we'll see the teams go through their picks and bans. So if I had to wager, not really having a clear idea of when these teams have settled on the meta post Esports World Cup, my guess would very much be that Supershy want to lean into places where Winston and a Brig is viable, so places like Dorado, places like Runasapi, all very reasonable. So Gaimin Gladiators are the favoured seed, so they'll get to pick maps 1, 3, and 5, while Supershy will pick 2 and 4. What we'll see coming up on our screen very shortly after they confirm the rosters is we will get this bans displayed to us. So we'll see what Gaimin Gladiators ban, then we'll see what Supershy ban, and then Gaimin Gladiators will pick from the remaining map. We won't see that remaining map until the very end, so we sort of get a little bit of preview of what's banned, and then we get all the information at the end on what our map pool for today will be. We are going to be in the lobby for this one, so we will be solo casting. It's been a hot second since the Esports World Cup, since I had a crack at it, but I reckon I've got it in me. I reckon I've got the lung capacity. the sharpness, the mental aptitude to cast in this game. We are getting those lineups finalized now. You can see Yoham coming into the roster as expected. For those who don't know, Crook is off the team cut. Yoham becomes the starting and only flex support on the roster, while Crook has made his way over to a new team called Vendetta, who you'll see in OWCS this weekend. A team with Hybrid on tank. They have Cookie and China as their DPS core. And partnering Crook at the back will be Crispy. So a lot of C's and a single H. A team with a lot of promise, a lot of potential. But for now, our focus is very much on the Gaimin Gladiators and Yoham now with this opportunity to really make this spot his own and show what he can do against a consistent level of opposition. I think Yoham played really fine in these opportunities he got. Not someone I've been blown away by, but does his job. And I think, as we spoke about earlier, that is kind of a story for Gaimin Gladiators. I think Tread, FD God, and Yoham, they're all very functional players. I think this is very much the reason why Gaimin Gladiators excel in these more macro-based metas, because they have players who are good at playing in the system, good at playing their role, under the tutelage, of course, of Ben Best. The most handsome man. I met Ben for the first time at the Esports World Cup. Kind of crazy. It's the first time our paths have crossed. But I'll let you in a little secret. He's just as handsome as you think he would be. But he's not employed for his looks anymore. He's employed for his brain. So we'll see what direction he's taking Gaimin Gladiators in as we wait for these lineups to be finalized. There's a bit of a question on the Supershy side as well. Who starts out of their DPS core? Obviously, if we're going to see double flex DPS, we expect to see both Pac and Stelios in at the same time. Zoro very much on the hit scan duty. So if it is as we see it now with Pac and Zoro in, we're expecting some kind of hit scan to be in play. The main hit scan that's really been used by most teams since the Cassidy fall-off, or the increase in fall-off damage from Cassidy, is of course Ashe. So a lot of Ashe on the go. Expect to see a decent amount of that. On potentially both sides, really. I don't think we've seen all that much of Zodial play it so far, but the guy can click on stuff. You can click on stuff on Cassidy, you can click on stuff. You can click on stuff on Ashe, and we will get confirmation that Stelios and Pac are both in as we go into the first ban. Gaimin Gladiators to kick us off, so they will ban, then Supershy will ban, and then Gaimin Gladiators will pick from the two remaining maps. Expectations here, we talked about Supershy probably wanting to tech into the dive version of things. The fact that they have both their flex DPS players in, again, maybe suggests we go in some sort of Tracer Echo route potentially, maybe a Venture mixed in there. I think Venture's maybe a hero, and that's a little bit underrated still by a lot of teams. I think especially maybe a team like Gaimin Gladiators, who you would expect to try and get Zodiac onto hit scan where they can. You'd be expecting a Venture could be very effective into that. So we'll move on to Hybrid, the next map type. So I think if I'm Gaimin Gladiators, I probably want to take Paricio away, but it's actually Blizzard World they opt out of here. Potentially that Gaimin Gladiators are drafted more around their weak map pool rather than their strengths. And Supershy are actually... Oh no, sorry, yeah. Paricio ban does come through from Gaimin Gladiators, and Supershy pick the map. Over... Oh, and actually Esperanza isn't in the pool. Now, was it a mistake on Liquipedia? God damn it. Liquipedia tricking us once again. So Esperanza is out of the map pool. Runasapi is in. Runasapi very much the most dive-favoured map. There'll be a new Queen Street ban coming out from Supershy, so I expect Gaimin Gladiators to send us to Colosseo. We'll see at the end, of course, but that's where I expect. Obviously, Flashpoint is next. No bans in this one since there's only two maps. Supershy just get to pick. Probably Suravasa, I would guess. We'll have to wait and see. Thinking time for this one. It's a little bit tricky sometimes with doing all the bans at the front end of the series. It means it's harder to adapt mid-series. You sort of have to guess how the series will go, what you might want by the time you get to a game 4, if you get to a game 4. Suravasa, probably the one that's more played. Generally, the consensus is Suravasa's a bit more diveable. New Junk City is kind of, you can't just have to brawl. So if you want that option, Suravasa probably makes a lot of sense for Supershy. And then we'll move into map number 5, which will of course be the Escort. This is one where we can get a much wider range. Shambali, quite a brawl favoured map, though we have seen some dive. We have seen some dive on it, and it's going to be an immediate Dorado ban from Gaimin Gladiators. So it seems like Gaimin Gladiators are on the same page now. They don't want to let Supershy play any version of the Winston comp. Supershy, on the other hand, can now ban a map. Probably a bit of a choice if they want to avoid Circuit Royale or Shambali. Junkertown and Shambali both left open. And like I said, we've seen a little bit more dive on Shambali than we have done previously. Junkertown as well, I think, is quite diveable. We will start on Lijiang Tower, then Eichenwald, then Runasapi, then New Junk City, and then Shambali to finish. So I think, actually, a couple of reasonable dive maps in there, but not overall that many. We're going to go straight into this one, so we will waste no time because the match is starting. So get your predictions in. We're starting here. Obviously, on the left-hand side of your screen will be Gaimin Gladiators. On the right-hand side will, of course, be Supershy. So the Stelios revenge match against his former team. Excited to see Stelios get the opportunity in a starting lineup more often. And we'll get to see what he does here. I do have to restate for those who maybe missed it. Now, I do think Stelios, while has excelled on Tracer, didn't look all that on Echo in some of the series we watched. So, question marks over Stelios' flexibility and hero pool. We'll see if we can get some answers to those today. And we're going to get an immediate pause. 2 minutes on the clock. Might be an added. Rank bloody 9. What does that mean, Sobek? What's he yapping about? I don't really understand. Alright. Alright, if you've not seen, I've actually got a new video out right now. Exclamation mark, new vid. I've released my EMEA power rankings, which is what Sobek is actually responding to. Supershy didn't quite make the top 8 in my rankings, but I do have them upsetting Oblivion. So if you want to check out that new video, exclamation mark new vid, you can watch that on YouTube. You get my power rankings of the entire region. We do everything. We do 16th all the way up to 1st. And you might actually be surprised. You might actually be surprised who I've got at number 1. Given my reputation, I guess, for predictions and endorsements and all such things. Gaimin Gladiators were a team a little bit easier to rank. I think their position in the hierarchy is a bit clearer. "30 seconds left on the clock. There's no manual unpause here, so we can't just have to wait for the timer to tick down. So we're going to get a brief delay, and then it is all action. 20 seconds left on the pause, 20 seconds left on the countdown timer, and we'll get to see what everyone's opting into. At least initially, Hitori starting on the Diva, Kiri Lucio on the books. It must be said that I think Kiri Lucio is mostly what we've seen Sobek and Podonova, even though we've been on separate teams previously. That's mostly what we've seen them play in previous matches, so would not be surprised at all if they're leaning that way. Again, I think if we end up in a hard mirror, the Anna Brig does become better. Okay, so it looks like this is it. Kiri, Lucio, Tracer, Echo, Diva on the side of Supershy. And oh boy, it's a mirror. I think Gaimin Gladiators, a little bit of lore for you. Apparently invented this comp, called it the Peps comp for a while. So we'll see them in the mirror. Big focus in. This is the matchup and the role Stelios struggled on before. Timing was off. Couldn't find the right opportunity to sync up with his team. We'll need to do more of the same here. As again, it's a battle on the flank initially. Tracer, Lucio's battling. Diva's coming to join him. Initial space goes over to the side of Gaimin Gladiators. And they will force Supershy back into this corner, force a recall. And as such, Supershy are going to rotate over to point. Both teams will come and meet there now. We can see Tracers battling on the left-hand side of our screen. Meanwhile, Tread's going to make the first aggressive move. They try and make their way in. Force all the way back. Steady at the choke here. Tread's health okay. Got a slight advantage over Hitori. Will be looking to bully her back when they can. Hitori has to reset at the back of a point. They've got multiple angles all around the different side. Tread is going to try and clear one of them out now. Hitori is back to full HP. Chance to pressure, but it's Sobek who falls first. Hitori takes so much damage on the way in, but Tread loses mech. Players down, tank advantage, but Hitori is so low for Supershy. They can start to try and push back in, but they lose pack on the way. They still have that tank advantage, but look at Hitori's health. Tries to make a move for the Mega, does make it, and Supershy have made their way round coast here. But losing Podanova is going to put an end to this first fight for them. So just 12% for Supershy before Gladiators will take back over. As we get to the ult portion of it, we can see support ults on the equation. Whoa, Stelios just found Zodiel for free. Get themselves onto a point, pick up an FD God kill here as well. Tread does give a remake, but the damage has been done. And it's a free retake for Supershy. Didn't have to trade any of no support ults, didn't have to get into an elongated fight again. These big support ult trades when both teams have Kitsune Rush and both teams have beat can go on for a long time. So happy to take those if you're in control of a point. And now Supershy have that opportunity. Coming through main, Kitsune Rush to start. Pulse Bomb miss. Kitsune Rush in exchange. Podanova would be forced to climb back up. They're trying to put attention here onto Hitori on point. And now they're going to beat forward as well. Double down onto FD God. Denying an opportunity to beat. They need to get Hitori back into mech. Suzu is good. Manages to do it. They should all avoid this bomb. No boot to be had. Tread not getting back in mech. And Supershy starting strong here on Lijiang Tower Night Market. Of course, because they used both support ults there, they stopped FD God having the opportunity to respond. That means FD God does, of course, have the advantage for this next fight. We have copies in play as well. Expect those very much to go onto the Divas. And we can get some kind of 4 Diva push. And Stelios now will be doubling down. They want more pressure on FD God. They do not want to let him beat, but FD God gets it off. Now we have to try and survive. Stelios will get D-Mex here. Will Matrix out the baby, actually, so they get him out. He won't be able to get a bomb off, but he is able to regroup with his team. But now, the Echo Chase was not over just yet. Naga will keep plowing forward, forces him off the edge. A boop as well from Naga, and the retake is good here. They convert their ult advantage fight, a copy bomb just to be safe. And the Gaimin Gladiators are in control, but they can't afford to lose any more fights. For those who don't know, Navayeti is indeed Naga. A tricky name to try and trick us, but we're too smart for that, Naga. We know your real identity. We're going to be low on ults on both teams coming back in this next one. Pulse Bomb's in play. Got to thread it through a Suzu, got to thread it through a Matrix. Lots of things that can make it difficult. Hitori will be taking some space. Already a point force coming through from Pack, so Zodi will go over to match that. They're trying to trade. Tread makes a bit of an aggressive move, and they're slowly but surely taking control of the open area here. Pulse Bomb's a miss. Have to give up a ghost on that one. Now Kitsune trade will be in play here. Sobek's beat is about 40% closer than FD Gods because of how the previous fights went, so keep your eyes on that one. But here we have Yoham only just getting Kitsune Rush, will respond now. Sobek 5% away from beat. Pressure coming through on him. They catch him as well. Tread with the hunt. Crucial kill right there. They need a quick reset. Hitori needs to get off the map, actually. Needs a full reset. They do have beat coming back, but this fight win crucially for Gaimin Gladiators provides them that little bit of extra time for FD God to get this beat. So we need FD God to get to this beat, because you can bet your entire mortgage, your entire house, your entire family on the fact that this Supershy push is going to have one target in mind, and that target will be FD God. 80% only now. Here comes the push. Beat round the corner. They're looking for him. FD God is going to amp away. Gets well away. Fully Matrix, fully pocketed. And now FD God with beat advantage. 8%, 7%, 6%, 5%. He's getting closer. They need to find kills with this beat. As long as they can connect, they will be okay. One more desperate push. Now they go forward. Looking for aggression here. Naga will be flanking around the left. And oh, they've been set up beautifully for him here. Can finish off Sobek. He is not able to get back on point. 1 second away from that cooldown, so it's just a 1-for-1 trade here. And oh, it's a C9 from Supershy. Disaster from Supershy. They got a bit fortunate there. Bit fortunate with the trade. Bit fortunate with the trade onto Naga, but it meant they were in a 4v4 situation. Echo advantage, great chance for Stelios to go into a sort of carry situation with that one, but the C9 costs them. C9 costs them, and they'll find themselves around down here. Looks like we'll see the same composition again from Supershy, leaning into that Diva Tracer Echo. Now we're going to get potentially a different look here as Tread is on the Winston. DPS are the same, and it's Lucio and are actually in play, so it might be a little bit tricky for Yoham here. Hard to peel Needs aggressive Diva moves off, and you can see FD God already playing very aggressively here on the left-hand side with Zodial. Tread will just look to bubble off Hitori. Oh, they catch the mech! Mistake from Hitori, and this should be a straightforward first fight for Gladiators now. Catch for Baby, should catch Pack as well. Recall is forced, and Pack is too deep to get out. Hopeful for a trade, but no doing. FD God will put him in a corner, put him in a bag, and send him off to the morgue. Clean one so far. Generally now, if you're the Winston, if your name is Tread and you are currently playing on Gaimin Gladiators, you want to play a lot through the Diva here. You want to try and use your bubble advantage to get an HP advantage. Stop this Diva being aggressive on your Ana, because if this Diva can find opportunities on the Ana, Yoham's life is at major risk. Tread now looking for the dive, though slightly mistimed with Zodial. They're going to double down, though. Still pressure onto Podonova. Podonova is low. Desperate for that kill is Zodial. Here comes the peel, though. Just in time, but Zodial punches through the Matrix. Gets the Podonova kill. Zodial will trade his life for it, but the trade is good. 4v4, but main source of healing gone for Supershy. They want to go anyway. They're trying to perk their way in. Trying to get some pressure on point. FD God will go and match. Already has this nano here. Tread will bubble at the choke. Just forces him back, and that'll force Pack to get off a point. Hitori has now been naded. Still trying to make this move. Wants to bully Tread, and now the dive onto the backline. Pressure onto Yoham, but they shut down Podonova. Boop off the map. Yoham is 1 HP, but they can't find the kill. It's such a long distance here for Hitori and the rest of Supershy to try and cover. That you see the amount of damage Hitori takes, especially from that Echo, who can just get behind her, put full sticks into her back, get that beam damage through as well. Hitori will now be making the Winston swap. A little bit better now at dealing with this Ana. Yoham's getting aggressive though. Nano comes through. Yoham looks for the aggressive nade. Defensive bubble is there though. They do force the copy onto Stelios. Goes for the aerial save, but booped off the map. FD God sends Stelios for a dip, and this has been an absolute disaster so far. They do trade Tread, who goes down with Primal. We'll be coming back quickly with that one. It is Li Jiang Garden, of course, so they will be back quickly. A dive at the choke just to try and clear him. Hitori trying to take space, catches Zodial as well. FD God getting a little bit frisky, but Supershy have the flip there. Kitsune Rush in play for Podonova and beat for Sobek, so support ult advantage here. Interesting how they take the fight. Can go with Tread's Primal first, maybe try and trade Primal for one of the support ults, and then set up for a more even support ult trade. And that would probably be the way I choose to go for it. Tread's going to take that dive in. Onto Sobek, gets the beat off. Doesn't catch Hitori. Defensive beat now from FD God as well. Beats have been traded, but Podonova still has that Kitsune Rush. Can drop it now. Maybe, but no, getting Primaled away. Will be forced to TP back. Tread will not let them go. Tread is all over them. The DPS are swooping in. They don't get an opportunity to use this Kitsune Rush. And this trade does not go the way they want it at all. They do have 9% to play with. And actually, Hitori's going to Primal 1v5. Tries to get the Ana. Does get the Ana. If Hitori can live, it's massive. Tries to juke Naga out. Naga's on the hunt. Beam coming through. Suzu is good. Hitori gets the kill and lives. Zodial now pushing back, trying to get F Tobek. Oh, what a kill. And the pulse bomb from Zodial. Unbelievable. Will recall off the map, but the damage is done. What a play from Zodial. Kitsune Rush meanwhile. Supershy are not giving it up. Trying to trade onto two Winstons here. Here's Hitori. Does get Naga out of the copy. Desperate to hold on, but Hitori is low. They're topping him up, topping her up. Yohan nearly has this nano. Chance to drop it onto Tread or even onto Naga here to finish this one. Looks like it's all going to be through Tread. Suzu is forced. TP is forced. Now a right click and a hunt. Pack has found the nade kill. Pack and he's down. Yoham giving him the advantage here. Little bit splitting on this fighting, but Naga finds Sobek. And the player advantage should be enough now. They should be able to convert it. Stelios trades one in the back, but is it enough? They need so much more here. And Gaimin Gladiators will hold on. Back and forth. FD God with the play of the game here. Probably a boop of the day angle. Boop off the map, I reckon. There we go. This has been the first fight, I think. Oh, no, sorry. First retake. Comes back here. Peel is good too. Such an important kill onto Podonova, because then it just stops the opportunity for Hitori to get Suzu, to get any more healing. But really the big play in all of that has to be that Zodial one at the end, because that last fight, really in the balance. Really in the balance. Podonova about to drop Kitsune Rush on point. But Zodial with a huge 1-for-2 trade to put him in position for that one. We can take a quick look if we're fast. Oh, we need to accept that lobby invite. We can take a quick look though at the stats from that first game. We can see pretty dominant on the side of Gaimin Gladiators in the end in terms of KDs. Only a couple of deaths especially. 2 on Tread, 2 on FD God. Thank you, Cookie Jar. Thank you for the prime. Yoham, only 3 deaths as well. Zodial died quite a bit, but 17 kills. Really getting involved a lot there. And I think when we look at DPS impact, it certainly felt like Naga and Zodial were finding more openings than their counterparts, which is, of course, good. If your DPS players are getting kills, you're probably gonna put yourself in a decent position. We'll be moving now onto the next map, which is, of course, Eichenwald.
Initiating match.
No roster changes on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. Wow, Zoro does come in for Supershy, which means we should expect a little bit of Ashe, probably. Tread, even type in the comp. Sig, Ashe, Tracer, Bat, Brig. Gaimin Gladiators are making their expectations known. We'll see what they choose to do.
Ready for battle.
And it looks like we'll just get more of the same, but with an Ashe this time instead of the Echo here. So some of this map is a lot nicer for Ashe, especially second, where you can post your Ashe up on the high ground. Very oppressive to hold onto it. On the other side, few options here, obviously, for Gaimin Gladiators. We saw him run Lucio Anna. I think that might have been more of a map-specific thing, honestly, for Lijiang Garden, because your Anna can just park up on that bridge. So it will be Kiri, Lucio, Diva, Tracer, Echo here. So very similar, just an Echo and Ashe difference between the two sides. Starting on the defense, Zoro trying to find this early angle. Just trying to make it hard for him to walk in. Pressure on. Zodial blinks through, trying to just force a little bit of an opportunity to rotate. And Zodial will now get through top left. Tread's coming the other way. Dynamite comes out. Just find it onto the back line. Will be annoying. They're trying to help protect their Echo here. Zodial again, pressure onto this Ashe. Making Zoro's life hard, but Zoro does find himself now on the high ground. And a great opportunity to do a lot of work from here, and Gaimin Gladiators are actually going to reset a little bit as a result. Dynamite comes in. Can they find it? Burning onto FD God. Can he find the shot? FD God gets out main just in time, though. Hituri's traded a lot of her health in this one. Has to be careful now, as Gaimin Gladiators are going to try and use that as an opportunity. Once again, they clear Zodial. Zoro is forced to the back of a point, but there's the dive from Tread. They try and respond, but the peel is too late. Can they get the mech? They can't even get the mech off of Tread right now. Now they have to try and find other kills, but Tread will just regroup with his team, pocket everyone, and it should be relatively straightforward cleanup from here. They're trying to kill some people on different sides. Zodial goes in, and they find their opportunity, and this is kind of the nature of the game. This is the nature of the game that we'll see. Trying to put pressure onto the Ashe. Don't let her get a lot of opportunities. And don't let her shut down your Echo. If they can find ways to enable Naga. Naga's ability to trade on the Diva is much better than the Ashe. But not if the Ashe is able to shoot. This is why you see, we saw it from Zoro's perspective, Zodial just double blinking, triple blinking, put that pressure on the Ashe, make Zoro's life hard, try and find opportunities where Naga can get a bit of free space, because the Echo is so powerful, and it's a beat push. FD God not able to beat again. We saw Supershy make that play on the previous map. They make the same one here. Beat advantage push is converted. Does mean they'll, of course, be at support or disadvantage for the next fight. But a fight win is a fight win. Flanking through is Naga. Jive onto the high ground here. They all get away. Sobek's under pressure. Beam! Sobek gets away on 1 HP. Meanwhile, they killed Zoro, though. Force back on. Bob onto the point. Will force the D-Mech from Tread. Will get the remech kill onto that Bob. And they're still fighting on the Kitsune Rush here, so they will clean up the rest of their players. Felt like they were just kind of happy to take that trade in the end. Trade for Bob for the Kitsune Rush. Go into the next fight in even support ult situation. And not feel too bad. Kitsune Rush coming back now for Podonova will probably be the ult they choose to start it with, but there's early aggression. Zodiac's actually found the Pulse Bomb kill through everything, through Matrix, through Kitsune Rush. And Gaimin Gladiators will get a load of free push after this, and Tread, even considering going for a little bit more, gonna stay aggressive at the choke. Wants to try and force an early Suzu out from Podanova. Pressure onto Hitori, wants to make this walk out as hard as possible. Force an early Kitsune rush would be the dream. Playing on this high ground, making their life hard. Copy Diva comes out, now a chance to be aggressive, but actually, they just choose to go back once they get that Kitsune rush out. Trading Copy for the Kitsune rush is a great trade, and now FD God can drop this beat, and they can play aggressive. No great defensive ults. They might wait until Naga's out of Copy. There we go. Now they've got the Echo to dive with. They're going to make the move. Pressure onto the backline here. Nowhere for Zoro to go. Beat over top. They demolish him. Now they can turn their attention for the next kill. Podanova is the next target. They set that one up nicely, Gaimin Gladiators. Give themselves the player advantage. Or give themselves the ult advantage, rather, and then they're just able to turn it into a kill. Give me 2 seconds, sorry. So, approaching third point with plenty of time left on the clock. 3 minutes 30. Cassidy will be the swap from Zoro. A little bit more of an enclosed point in this one. The damage fall-off won't be as relevant. So far, Zoro's really struggled to have impacts in this game. Very much feels like they're able to keep on top of him, shut him down, deny his opportunities. You saw he was the primary target in that previous fight. It might be a little bit more of the same. They have Kitsune Rush to start this one with. Beat to respond, but it's early. It's just a dogfight in the old spawn, and oh! The beat goes off! Saves everyone. They will clean it up, and I'm maybe not too upset about that. Again, they get the same situation they had on second, where now they potentially have double ult advantage once FD God gets in this beat. Still 40% away, but it will give them clear win conditions in some of the later fights. Kitsune Rush still 23% away for Podanova, so they need to build back up to that one. Should be able to get it in time here, as it looks like the Gladiators want to come through left side. Dive in from Tread. Pressure onto Zoro again. Will clear him out. Hitori actually kills Naga in all of this. No, not enough peel. Pulse Bomb forces for TP only out of Yoham, and Supershy are trying to take a step back. They do lose 1 for 1. But with no Echo to worry about here, they should be able to keep a pretty good HP advantage. They're actually going to swing with High Noon, but Gaimin Gladiators are just going to leave that one. Kitsune Rush, still in play for Podanova. FD God now has that beat. They might start with Copy here, Gaimin Gladiators. And actually, oh no, it's Supershy who go first. They force the Copy out, but just double Matrix and disengaging for Gaimin Gladiators. Beat push is available afterwards. Suzu has been forced, but beat to keep going. Here come the double Divas. Can Supershy live? Zoro's under so much pressure. A bomb over the top. 2 bombs in play. Another bomb on point. Hitori, desperate for a trade. Remech doesn't connect though. Just get back in. Saves her mech for now, but she's so low on HP, and Tread wants to push this advantage. A double Diva beat push is one to be scared of, but oh, Zoro on the respawn finds the trade. This will put an end to the forward momentum from Gaimin Gladiators, and they're forced to reset again. They play the ult situation well. But Zoro with a pick sets them back. Now with only 1 minute and 15 seconds, time starting to become of the essence as we see a Ram and Mei swap come out. So Ram and Mei both effective on this. Mei especially very effective into the Diva. Expect Tread to make the first aggressive move. Try and put pressure onto the backline, mainly Zoro. And as such, that will allow Naga to turn onto the Diva. But actually, Hitori a step ahead, swaps onto the Ram. Now they can go for a slightly more brawl-favoured engage where they just try and wall off the Ram, put the pressure on. Might try and take an early form trait here, then look for the wall afterwards onto Hitori. Slow onto Sobek for now, doesn't find all that much. Also worth noting, we've got Zodiel on the cast now. Wall comes in to try and deny this aggression, but here's the beat over the top. They want to get onto this backline. Zoro is all in, but they're going to turn on Zoro. Zoro went so deep. They don't find the value. Slow to try and disengage. Hitori desperate for that next form. Kitsune Rush to try and save Hitori, but it's not enough. Now it's just the backline. Packs coming from behind. They need trades, and they need them quickly, but the beat will prevent any of them. Gaimin Gladiators, with a little bit of time to spare, will finish Icon World. 16 seconds on the clock. And they're okay.
Score 0-3. Switching sides.
Stalled out a little bit towards the end of the third point there. But still successful.
Match.
So generally, if we're talking meta for a second, or we're talking this kind of diva mirror, the general idea is for most, Diva's quite a hard character to kill. The best way to try and kill the Diva is if you can make her turn a certain direction. So say the Diva is here, and then she flies this way. If you have people who can shoot her from behind, essentially, you'll be able to get a lot of damage. This is why heroes like Echo are quite good, because the Echo can get the angle easier to play on those side angles, easier to play above and sort of dive bomb behind. So if Diva ever oversteps, you get a lot of value very quickly. And we saw Naga catch Hitori a couple of times with this. Now, with the hit scan version, you don't have that same opportunity. With the hit scan, as we saw Zoro playing, Zoro will be very much just stacked with... Let me use a different color. Zoro will be very much just stacked with the Kiri Lucio, and as such, will kind of be stuck playing in front. So a lot of the time, you'll see teams play Anna Brig with the hit scan as well, because that way the Brig can more actively swing. They've got more ways to punish for Diva and just bully that Diva back. So surprised we don't see that, but they've kind of always been a bit of a Kiri Lucio team here, Supershy, so sticking with what they know. But they need to make a bit of a turnaround here. Pac will hit the grapple shot. Well, he'll attempt to hit the grapple shot. In reality, he'll waste only his own time. Diva, mirror again, Ashe in play. The same type of matchup. Dynamite comes through, does catch the Echo. Zodiel is on the flank here and just walked into Zoro, kills him. DPS advantage now, and Gaimin Gladiators will look for more. Zodiel will get more. Free for Zodiel. And while we really think of Zodiel as the hit scan player, that's really where he sort of had his come up and burst onto the scene, playing a lot of Cassidy. The Tracers look pretty good so far. Had more value than Pac, had a bigger impact. And gets a freebie there on the first fight. A little bit of sloppiness from Supershy. Trying to make their way in again. Zodiel again threatening from this left-hand side of our screen. Pac will go challenge, force him out. And oh, this time the punish goes the other way. Now a little bit easier for Zoro to take space. Hitori takes a lot of damage, so they're going to have to slow down for a second here. Tread's trying to make an aggressive move as well, so they have to deal with that. But no one's really with Tread here, so maybe a bit of a disconnect here between Gaimin Gladiators, what they wanted, what Tread wanted to do, and what everyone else was doing. And that allows a free kill onto him. And Hitori very keen to finish the job here, pressure onto this backline. But Gaimin Gladiators give a lot of space. They want to play for the retake here. Remember, it is Icon World. It caps faster. It's hard. They're going to try and kill the baby. Oh, they don't kill the baby. Oh, they've made a mess of this. Hitori is going to lose mech. Oh, no, they do kill one on point. It's maybe still winnable. Hodanova with a crucial pick onto Zodiel. They will be able to stabilize. The cap did go through, and oh, that was spooky. That was spooky. It works out from in the end. We saw a disconnect from Gaimin Gladiators cost Tread, and then we nearly saw a disconnect between Hitori and Supershy cost them as well. It will be support ults all over the place in this next one. Trying to get around the back here. Tread has just found a way through, and oh, it's Naga over the top. Supershy were just trying to play through point, but they weren't ready for the dive over the wall. 2 casualties already, and they'll be reset to spawn here. And I think Gaimin Gladiators will be pretty keen to hold for spawn here, get free time. Naga holding very close on this left-hand side. Does have the copy if they get into trouble. Zodiel's already found one. It's a 1-for-1 trade, though, and that's the beat off the table now for FD God. Naga tries to find the assassinate. Doesn't get it, though. And is now very much stuck behind, and Zoro's looking for it. Zoro doesn't have any health, though! Naga's going to get the copy off. Full 6 forces for recall. And now Naga is just trading in spawn. Maybe ultimately wasn't worth it, as they've lost people other places. And Naga's going to choose to play his life, ultimately. More time off the clock, at least. We're down to 3 minutes. And the Gaimin Gladiators will reset back onto high ground. Both support ults still in play. Only the copy nut went down. Holding the high ground here. Zoro could bob aggressively if he wants to. Looks like that's what he's going for. It comes through. FD God will beat through as well. Sobek will match it. Holding on now. Just trying to play away from the Kitsune Rush play towards their own Bob. Zoro needs help on his high ground. Maybe he doesn't. Shuts down Naga himself. And Zoro has retreated to the enemy spawn here. FD God was looking for that one. It's a very chaotic fight, and Zodiel was just going to take this opportunity to stop point. It's now a dogfight inside. Podanova still coming back from spawn. Zoro is just jungling right now, roaming around the enemy backline. Bomb and a Poco Bomb outside. Hitori won't get into mech. And the chaos will favour the defenders here. Messy trades all round. He'll get a late kill onto Podanova too. Maybe? Oh no. TP out is okay. TP out is okay. Really messy one there. Both support ops were invested over the course of that fight. So, Kitsune rush advantage for Podanova as we see Zoro make the swap onto Echo. So, feels that hit scan isn't working. Difficult to get the hit scan in this second point attack. Pac's going to start by touching the point, and Hitori's just killed, just wandered into a castle, shot a Frenchman. And apparently there's no consequences for such actions, and Pac's even going to get some decent cart push off this. Bell blink back. And Supershy uses opportunity to clear top. They're now looking for a push. Pressure onto Yoham. Want to force it out. Pack is behind. Avoids using the TP, but does have to Suzu. Yoham is running. Dive over top, but they've lost Sobek in the back. Zodiel stalling out the point again. Zodiel such a nuisance to this Supershy. They'll regroup, but Zodiel's kept his flank position here. Zoro's going to try and clean that out with Pack, and they do clean out Zodiel, but that's left Podanova a little bit split. TP back, low on HP. Supershy managed to stabilize, and this will probably kind of come back to another 5v5 situation. Copy advantage for Naga right now. Copy Diva has been the order of the day so far, and there it is. Pulse Bomb onto Tread, they want to try and force that D-Mech. That forces Tread back. And Gaimin Gladiators, as a result, are just kind of playing defensive with this copy. Supershy happy to wait it out. Gaimin Gladiators have both support ops up soon, though, and they're going to make a late push. Force for disengagement. Pax wandered in. Killed Zodiel, and Naga's actually super deep for here. FD God and Tread are trying to help. They've gone so far. They need to be careful not to get caught forward here. Naga manages to get out coast, and Hitori is not giving up the chase just yet. Pressure on. Naga is 1 HP. Zoro with him, though. They're still going. Pressure onto the backline now. Defensive beat is forced. Hitori has bomb if she needs it, and I think she will need it. Actually going to go to the spawn. Very split fighting, and during all of this, Zodiel's found the kill again. Not ready for the beat turn there, Supershy, and you could see it. They doubled down like they could just take the fight, but the advantage meant it was an easy beat for FD God just to turn that one. They have the beat advantage now, but only 10 seconds, and they're going to make Pac's life hell to touch here. Pac has to recall already. Can anyone else get the touch? Zoro going to have to try and copy and go for it. They beat through to run for it. They're trying to make their move. There we go. Pac does get the touch with a bit of help from his team. Doesn't have recall, remember, so has to go out. Zoro has to get the next touch. Doesn't have copy. Will die on point. Hitori back on the Doomfist. Will take over the touch. They are 4v4 actually. Pac can now touch, and they're trying to force cooldowns out of this backline. They've got it. Tread is low on HP. Bomb onto the point, but Yoham goes down in the meantime. Big punch for Hitori, denies the remake. And it's not over yet. It's overtime respawns, remember, as well for Gladiators. And it's not quite over yet. FD God is the last man alive. And he's just trying to play his life. He's gonna accept his fate now. Accept his fate now and go off the map. Now we go on to this third point again. Previously, we saw comp swaps from both teams leaning into a more RAM-heavy composition. Hitori going to go back and swap RAM as well. We'll check if Tread is on the same page, and Tread is on the same page. RAM mirror if you like. Tread not afraid. Zoro now back onto the Cass as well. Naga is staying onto the Echo as Zodiel has gone to the Ashe. Naga likely to swap to Nat May after copy here. But not a lot of time for Supershy. They come in around the corner. They have the Kitsune rush. Want to try and trade a little bit before then. Tread is used slow. They take a step back from that. Opportunity for Podanova to go. No support ops to respond with here, so has to be a copy and maybe disengage. They just try and take the step back here. They give as much cart as they can, but they need to touch soon. Tread will take that one. Copy Ram comes in, so they got 2 Rams to deal with. And they'll just take a step back here. I think they could have afforded to be a little bit more aggressive with that when they're Supershy. End up being a bit too easy for Gaimin Gladiators to give a bit of space. And they want to try and get this copy Ramo, and they will indeed. They catch Pac on the back end. Interested to see if Pac swaps to a May or something similar here. Oh, and a late kill onto Zoro. Oh, and these are brutal, actually. 10 seconds left on the clock. They have to fight. They have to go. They're going to beat forward. They're trying to put pressure onto FD God. FD God just about gets the beat now. Will get it off. Hitori dies going for that kill. And that was their window when they had that Kitsune rush advantage going around the last corner. That was the moment. That was the moment to win. They missed that timing. And as a result, Gaimin Gladiators will take a 2-map lead in the series. Zodiel will play of a game, maybe for one of the first defense here. Yeah, this is for one, just very first fight. Just catches Zoro unawares, and as such, just a few easy kills to collect here on the disengage. Nice and easy for Zodiel, who I think, honestly, probably the most impressive player. Most impressive player for Peps, which is saying something, especially since, you know, it's an off-roll. We can take a look at the stats again, because we like numbers. Round 2 for this one. There we go, numbers for everyone. Again, Zodiel, top of the eliminations list alongside Tread. Tread with a 33 and 3, nothing to be sniffed at. Likewise, if we start to look at where the high deaths are coming from, we can see Zoro right at the top of that. We talked about that compositional matchup, right? We talked about how the Ash or the Cass or whatever one they were going to be on would be the primary target, and you can certainly see that Gaimin Gladiators were able to execute that here and, well, execute Zoro as a result. Sobek also quite high on that one there. Naga, and again, Naga, Zodiel, good damage and all of this. Feels like there was a bit of a tracer gap ultimately, 3k in there and a pretty significant KD difference as well for Zodiel. Certainly seem to be having more impact. Well played so far from the Gaimin Gladiators, and they'll be hoping to make this a clean 3-0 as they obviously prepare to go into the tougher fixture they have later on against Space Station Gaming. Now, the next map is going to be Runasapi. Runasapi, obviously a bit more of a dive-friendly map. I think you can still play the D.Va Kiri Lucio here. This is one where I'd really be interested to see if Supershy are thinking the way other teams are in terms of, is there ever going to be any Anna Brig on the cards? Because I think it's very good into the D.Va. But we've not really seen it from them yet. We've not really seen them from it yet. Possible we just get a bit more of the D.Va Kiri Lucio mirror here is quite viable. Worth noting that Stelios is also back in the lineup, which maybe means the end of Hitscan. And we're back to a double flex DPS mirror now. Everyone's seen the increased use of double flex DPS through the Dallas Major, all the way through the Esports World Cup, and no surprises, it's going to continue here. Obviously, it means a lot of teams are now who do have maybe 6 or 7 person rosters are very much investing in that extra DPS to play in these type of compositions. I think it is a good investment of resources. We saw the success Ents had at the Esports World Cup after investing in Wamone and unlocking Tracer Echo. So far, though, we've seen relatively similar mirror matchups, and it feels like there's sort of 2 key differences. I think Supershy are not capitalizing properly off their ult advantages, whereas when Gladiators do the same thing, they set themselves up with a clear ult advantage. They're doing a much better job of converting those advantages. The other side of things is Zodiel's just having the most impact in the lobby right now, and Supershy have not had any of their players step up and respond in the same way. And we're going to get more of the same. It's a D.Va Tracer Echo Mirror. Don't listen to this old man and these Winston Anna Brig theories. I guess it's just a D.Va meta still for these 2 teams. Early space all the way of Gaimin Gladiators, actually. I don't think they've really... They're just kind of there. They took the space, got the better angle, and they'll force them back. Now trying to play the more open side as Satori was trying rob this robot. Tread will come and match. No real angles onto Tread here, so he can matrix a lot of the damage coming at him. Meanwhile, look at the angle that Zodiel and FD God are taking on his left-hand side. They want to bully Pack. They want to close the space away, and maybe an opportunity onto Stelios here. They bullied him all the way back here. Now the dive goes a little bit deeper. Stelios trying to get all the way out. Zodiel can't quite finish it, but here comes Naga. It's not over yet. Stelios is continuing to run, and it's actually a Lucio gap of all things that comes through first. They bullied them back. They took more space around the map. Forced them all... Funneled them all into the same space, and eventually we're able to capitalize here. Taking this early space, getting this early robot push. And we'll get a fight on this corner. Kitsune Rush is nearly in play. Podonova is actually slightly quicker, probably a result as well. Teams with more damage. Now the aggressive play all the way on. Stelios not saved by that Kitsune Rush. Needed a bit of Matrix from Hitori or something to help him out of that one, but no doing, which means this Kitsune Rush is just Gonna go to waste. Hitori will be forced to die on the point. Pack will be stalling out the robot as long as he can before trying to play his life. Zodial and Tread don't seem super interested in letting him live, but live he will, at least for now. Now Kitsune Rush advantage for Yoham, of course. Sobek does have the beat advantage in response, so an ability to trade in these ones. Copies in play for both Echoes as well, so it could be a very diva-filled next fight we get. And this one will be for Cap. Supershy, are they going to go before Cap? Yep, Paxton get the first touch, misses for Pulse Bomb. Kitsune Rush comes out now. Hitori, going to just try and play with this copy. Matrix is in play, pressure on, but oh, it's Sobek who goes down, that means no beat! Supershy in a huge problem now. They need to find kills, even a trade will do. Celios trying to farm up to this bomb, but won't get close. And somehow, some way, they found that kill. Copy bomb from Naga to celebrate. And it's one-way traffic right now. One-way traffic. Gaimin Gladiators in full control. Self-destructs in play for both teams. Sobek obviously does have that beat advantage since he wasn't able to get it off. You can see Zodial hiding up top with this Pulse Bomb initially. Wants to try and force an early recall. Pulse Bomb attempted onto the recall, I think. Doesn't get close. Tread, Zodial, Naga all put early pressure on. They just force this bomb out here. They'll take that bomb for free. The payload is still moving, remember. Now they'll regroup onto point. And a chance for him to be aggressive with this one. Trying to poke out the Diva. They'll clear this one. Sobek's actually in so deep again. Sobek in trouble again. Goes down. They'll try and trade. Celios looking for Naga. Hits for 6. They do at least get the trade. Self-destructs out from Tread. But in all this time, these two failed attempts to make use of this beat advantage. FD God's now got a beat, so it's not a beat advantage at all anymore. Celios still lurking in the back here. But they lose Hitori's mech, and it's all falling apart for Supershy right now. Celios is going to try and play his life. Just managed to get out. But this robot is approaching the end. They seem rattled, they seem shaken. Competitive in the first two maps, but that seems to have faded here. They've got him on the ropes. Kitsune Rush up now for Yoham as well. Will start with it. Podanova doesn't quite have it, so they beat first. Sobek's beat does go off. FD God will beat back now. Kitsune Rush in response, but they just kill Sobek through anyway. And the backline's just died. The double support ult trade goes nowhere close. Free for Tread. D-Mech on point as well. Pulse Bomb trade. No, TP was available. FD God gets the final 2 blows. And I think we're looking at a full cap. A sub 5-minute full cap. Supershy. Celios has copy. Bomb on the point. They just accept their fate. Hitori goes for it. Boop! And that's as quick a route of Sappy as you're ever likely to see. We'll get a play of the game. Probably Tread at the end. Maybe no Zodial. This is one of those times Sobek gets caught. Just finds him on the wall. And now all of a sudden, Podanova doesn't have any peel. Nice and easy. And I mean, I think the thing that's probably most disappointing if you're maybe on the side of Supershy, just how easy it felt for Zodial and all of that, you know, just how easy it felt. And that really seemed to be the tale of this game. We can take a look at our scoreboard. We can get some round 3 stats. I mean, I don't know what the round 3 stats are going to tell us other than that. Well, 3 players didn't even die. 3 players didn't even die. FD God, Yoham, and Tread with that honor. Only 1 death for Naga and Zodial. I mean, it was about as one-sided as you can get in that last one, so I don't think there's too much to read into here. I think really when we start to break it down, I think when the ult trade would go through, you'd see the Kitsune Rush. That last fight was actually probably a pretty good example of it in terms of we get that Kitsune Rush trade, then we get the beat trade coming through partway through as well, and then during all of that, you can clearly see Gaimin Gladiators have a clear target of, hey, let's just go get this Lucio. We can still mess him up. We can try and find this kill. They put all that pressure on, and you just seen that decision making mid-fight. It feels way more in this series. Gaimin Gladiators had an idea of what was happening in that mid-fight, what their action would be, or who they're trying to target. Meanwhile, on the side of Supershy, it really felt once we got to those mid-fight situations, they did the beat exchange, they did the Kitsune Rush, but what are we doing next? Like that last one where Sobek dies on the final point. When he dies, he gets the beat off, but he dies. Tread kills him afterwards anyway. He's just by himself. You really want your Lucio Kiri to try and be a little bit of a core there, your Diva as well. Try and play for each other, peel for each other, work around Do you have Kitsune? Do you have Suzu? Do you have TP? Who needs to peel for who? Does our Lucio need a little bit of Matrix? And it just felt for backline and frontline connection there between the tanks and the supports was much tighter for Gaimin Gladiators. They felt in much more control of those situations mid-fight, which means, as this matchup normally goes, where we get these big support ult trades, a big brawl mirror, well, the team that does that mid-fight better is going to come out on top more often than not. And I think we really saw that here. So, can't really take anything away from Gaimin Gladiators. A game they were expected to win, a game in, and they won convincingly. I think you look at the individual performances, it was better. I think you look at the ult play, definitely better from Gaimin Gladiators as well. And I think when you look at the sort of like mid-fight brawling and the messiness, Gaimin Gladiators had much better on that as well. In terms of player of the match, I think it's probably actually quite obvious. Maybe the quietest in map 3 out of the 3 maps for him, but I think Zodial was a standout. And I think especially we talk about the addition of Stelios to the Supershy roster and how that will actually benefit them because it opens up these double flex DPS compositions. That is, of course, also something that rests on Zodial's shoulders. There is no third DPS for Gaimin Gladiators right now, so Zodial has to fill all of his roles. I think maybe I'm just spreading this information, but I'm pretty sure originally Zodial was actually a bit of a Genji one-trick, so it has a few flex DPS heroes there, and certainly looked the part on Tracer here today. Probably in for a sterner test against Space Station, I imagine, Zodial, but I think Gaimin Gladiators have very much shown their hand for the most part in terms of these are the competitions they think are strongest, these are the competitions they want to run, and this is their sort of path forward at least. This is a lot of what they played, obviously, at the Esports World Cup as well, and in their sort of practice run up to that as well. So it feels like Gaimin Gladiators haven't really changed too much in terms of at least the compositions we're seeing from everyone at this initial stage. They're still leaning into that. It was a comp that was pretty successful for them. Obviously, they're now going to run into Space Station later, and that's in about 1 hour and 8 minutes away. So we've got a bit of time before that one. So for this game, we'll tidy it off. Clean win for Gaimin Gladiators. Player of the match has to go to Zodial. No one else, really. A strong performance from Gaimin Gladiators. Just seemed to be a cut above in almost any aspect you could pick out there. So congratulations to Gaimin Gladiators. We'll see more of them later on. Thank you very much for watching. For those of you who are watching live on Twitch, obviously we're going to stay here. We've got about an hour's wait time, essentially, until that SSG Gaimin Gladiators series goes off. So, I'm going to head to a break. I'm going to go get some food. I'm going to, going to replenish myself. And we can get ready for this next series right now. So, thank you everyone for this one. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll probably come back off break in about just under an hour or so and talk a little bit about that SSG and that Gaimin Gladiators series. So, thank you everyone. Hope you enjoyed the game. And I'll see you in just a little bit.